Gone Fishing is the 12th episode of the 3rd season of Barney and Friends, and there are some great songs in this, some of which really took me back to my childhood. I watched Barney for the nostalgia. I also love to see how educational it is, and this one has some great lessons, some great messages, partly about sharing, about animals and water life and how to care for water-based animals such as fish, and I think most children have a fish or a goldfish at some point, so I think that that's really important as well. And as I said, we have some delightful songs that I really thoroughly enjoyed. So the children who feature in this one include Jason, Juan, Min, and Julie. We also have Stella the Storyteller, who tells a story that I recognise from appearing in another Barney episode. But I can't remember what it is, but it's a story about this fish, and it was pretty decent. It was quite delightful with a nice message. And then we have, of course, some songs. And as always, I will talk about the songs, the lessons that are in the songs, and how I feel about them. And they are quite nostalgic for me, but at the same time, some of them I only know through Barney. But in general, there were definitely some that took me back to my childhood, and I think just singing about animals is always very nostalgic for me. A lot of my favourite childhood songs were about animals. And we start off with taking turns because they're playing a game, they want to take turns and they enjoy taking turns, which I think is really lovely. I don't necessarily think taking turns is tremendous fun, but it's a nice message to have. We then have A Hunting We Will Go to the tune of The Farmers in the Dell, and then we have the sailing medley, which includes sailing, sailing, which I can't say without hearing it in the rhyme. And we then have Over the Ocean and A Sailor Went to CCC, which I am terrible at. Such a nostalgic song, and I'm really bad at it. It's one of those songs where you're meant to not say certain words, the different kinds of sea, and I'm so bad at it, but I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed that one. Definitely took me back to my childhood. We then have the fishing song. There is a lot about the ocean here and a lot about fish, of course, and again, that's another one that I absolutely loved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was an absolute delight. And of course, a great way to help children learn to count. We then have Big and Little, and then 10 Little Fishes. And I don't love the title of that one or the aspect of fishes, because the plural of fish isn't fishes, but it is a really good song to the tune of 10 Little Indians. And then we end with ILE, which is not a nostalgic one for me. I don't remember that from my childhood. Because I watched a lot of Barney, I probably did hear it at some point. I really like it. I kind of discovered it, maybe rediscovered it as an adult, and I think it's really great, and it's all about smiling and giggling and being happy, and I think that's a beautiful message and a nice way to also conclude the episode, because you do have quite a lot of heavy lessons in this about caring for animals, being polite and taking turns. They're all really important messages, of course, but to then just end on something that says, and at the end of it, remember to smile and be happy and enjoy yourself. And I think that's always something definitely children can be reminded of, but I think us older viewers can do well to remember that as well. And I think it's a really great episode. Having Stella the Storyteller in there brought something else into it, and we have a really nice variety here. The children are great. Julie's singing voice is gorgeous, particularly when she sang, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the fishing song. I think in that one she had a couple of solos, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Love her voice, but everybody gave a really great performance. We also have Baby Bop and BJ. So there's a lot going on in this episode. We have some really great songs. We have some really great messages. And the cast is brilliant. Kind of nostalgic for me. Not completely nostalgic, not at least compared to some Barney episodes. That being said, I still thought it was pretty good. Gone Fishing is not too bad at all.